Welcome to another edition of Gateways to Glendale College. I'm Deb Kinley, and today we have Paris Nouri, who is an academic counselor and professor at the college. She's also an advisor to the Persian Club, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Persian Club today. Welcome, Paris.
Thank you so much. I have been a counselor at Glendale College for 21 years, and I have been involved with the student association groups. And for the last 10 years, I have been the advisor to the Persian Student Association, that we call it Persian Club for sure. We have a lot of Persian students here that the majority of them are Persian Armenians. And as you know, this college is very famous for having so many different clubs, and students are very active.
Yes, there are about 60 or so clubs on campus.
And there are semesters that we have up to 80 different clubs, or even 90 or 100. So I have been involved with the Persian Student Association, and for the last 2 years, we have a second Persian club that is Iranian Youth for Higher Education. But talking about the event that we're going to talk about today, this event we got involved because of the Persian Club or Persian Student Association.
Why don't you tell us about the mission of the Persian Club?
Sure. When we started the Persian Club or Persian Student Association, the mission was to promote the Persian culture, because we thought a lot of our children that are growing up here, they don't know about their heritage and their cultures. And just being able to know that culture, it brings a closer relationship with their family, with their relatives, and also with the Persian community. But I was also thinking about the newcomers that they just come to this country, and for them having a support system that they can be, a lot of them, they don't have any friends, they don't know anybody. So coming to the Persian Club and meeting other Persians, that some of them have been here longer and they know their way around. So it would be a nice mixture for them to get established here. And for them that are newcomers, it's very important. They're still very attached to the culture, and it's very important for them to maintain the culture. And I thought for the students being able to promote their culture, it makes them, it makes them proud of their heritage. It makes them proud in front of their classmates, their instructors. So we decided to make the mission of the Persian Club to make it to promote the Persian culture.
Sure. Okay.
And you are familiar with our Persian New Year events, of course, that
I
we've
attend
been
the
having.
Persian New Year. Yes, it's always a fun-filled day with activities and food and lots of music,
Dancing and
yes,
right.
It's always exciting. So, is there something special coming up that you'd like to tell us about?
Of course. As I mentioned, the mission of the Persian Club is to promote the Persian culture. And then we found out about this festival, the World Festival of Sacred Music. And that it's a very exciting festival that comes to Los Angeles every 3 years. And then when I found out that one of the artists of this festival is Persian, of course I got very excited, because I thought, wow, World Festival, and then they have like 832 performers, international performers, and knowing that one of them is Persian, we decided to approach the artist and ask for her permission to let us be involved with it and promote this event and be part of this event. We don't feel like we're promoting it. We are so proud, and our students are so proud that they're part of this event.
Did you say 832 performers?
International performers. When you talk to the artist, she's gonna explain it better about this festival, because she has been involved with this festival. But for us, bringing this festival to the city of Glendale, I was so excited about that. I had the pleasure of knowing the artist before this festival. And when she told me that she had an option to do it in 2 different locations, and one of those locations was Glendale, I got so excited and I asked her, please bring it to Glendale, to the city of Glendale. Because as you know, the city of Glendale is famous for promoting cultural events, and they really enjoy that cultural diversity. And I've always had support from the city councils, from the ex-mayors, about my cultural activity or cultural events. So she accepted that, and right from there, we just felt committed that we want to do everything we can to promote this event.
Well, why don't you tell us the name of the artist?
Well,
we are in suspense here.
The name of the artist is Ms. Mamak Khadem, and she's great, not because I know her, not because she's Persian, not because she's my friend. She is great as a friend and everything else, but as an artist, I really like her work. I think her work is very unique. I love all kind of Persian music, but a lot of Persian music, like when you look at pop music, they're kind of similar performance done by different performers. But what I like about her music that is very different. And also, I guess, being in education, when I see an artist who's also educated and is also in education, then that's always a plus for me. And when I met this artist, at that time she was an adjunct instructor at Santa Monica College, and that's how we met. Okay. And then after that, I've been following her work and her events. And I've always liked her work. So to me, it was just, I was so excited about having her as part of this festival and then bringing part of this festival to the city of Glendale.
So how are the students partaking of the festival, or are they interacting with Mamek?
I should say that I'm the bridge between these students and Mamek, because Mamek lives on the west side, and the students, most of our students are living here in Glendale, in the city of Glendale. And of course, being students, they're working and they're going to school, but indirectly they have been, in touch, and they have been interacting with each other. The students really have been so serious about this event. They have been helping with the posters, distributing the postcards and the posters, taking the postcards to their classrooms, and they're so looking forward to the concert. So, and we got our music department involved, Dr. Peter Green, that we were hoping to have him with us today. I don't know, he might join us later if he can. When I talked to him,
students are able to attend events and get credit for it. Is that correct?
Well, as you know, we have 2 classes, music classes here at Glendale College, Music 101, and I think the other one is Music 120. That's part of the class requirement is that they have to attend 2 concerts and write a report on it. Mamek was so kind to give a special discount to our students, which makes it even easier for our students to attend. Yes. And this is so close to them, so they don't have to go far away. So that works out great. So our music department also is supporting this event and informing our students that they can use this event as part of their class assignment.
Right. I think that's an excellent idea and a perfect segue. So is there any message that you have for any of the community or your students who might be watching?
Sure. What I like, I know a lot of Persians watch this program, but this is not just for Persians, because the message of this festival is that with the language of music, how we can have unity and we can have peace and friendship among us. So this is not just for Persians, but so any nationalities can attend, and we would like to see actually that different nationalities will come to this event and attend. But also, I think being Persian, I know that as a Persian, we're so proud when we see a Persian artist is part of this festival. And I know we have a lot of Persian Armenians here in city of Glendale, so I would like to invite all of them to come and support this event, especially that when there are 832 artists from different nationalities, we want to show that the Persian one is well attended. So we like to see all of you there.
It sounds like a wonderful group of performers, over 800, and then to have your Persian artist here, I think that's even better for the city of Glendale and our Persian club, the students here. So it sounds like a very good match. I'm so glad you brought the artist here. And
thank you so much. If you allow me, I just want to mention that for people in the community, if they want to buy the tickets in the city of Glendale, they can buy it from Ani's Grocery or Ani's Market. And our students, they can buy it from the Persian Student Association. They can come to my office, and we also have some in the music lab of our music department in auditorium, so they can also purchase it from there. But there are also in other Persian stores, if in other area of Los Angeles, like Music Box in Westwood, and I think Q Market is one of them, and 670 Club 670. Actually, after you talk to the artist, I'm sure you're going to interview the artist, and she can tell you more about it. Those are the few places that I could think about just going by my memory.
And
but
let's not forget the Garfield campus.
And the Garfield campus, yes, the Career Center.
Well.
And I have to thank you publicly that you were kind enough and accepted some of our tickets, and you took it to your office. So for our Garfield students, the non-credit program that they're at Garfield campus, you can go to Debbie's office and you can get the tickets from there, from the Career Center.
Yes, and receive the discount for
of
students.
Course, for students. Actually, the price of this concert, I mean, from what you get, the performance you get, it's not really expensive. It's only $25 the tickets, and still it was very nice of Mamak to give another $5 of discount to our students. So for students, it's only $20 that they can come and
that's
get
affordable
the
for the students, and we know the working students always can use the breaks where they can, but
that's true. That's
it's not
true.
exorbitant by any means. So I think the public could also attend and be very entertained by this music. I think I'm looking forward to it myself.
Well, thank you. So we'll see you there. And it's going to be in First Baptist Church, by the way, and I'm sure Mamak will give you more details as far as the location.
Well, thank you, Dr. Paris Nouri, for coming to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor for me to be here, and it was an honor for me to talk about this performance.
I know you're very proud, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for viewing today, the Gateways to Glendale College program. I'm Deb Kinley. If you'd like some information about Glendale College, you can always reach us at 818-240-1000. And we're always online at www.glendale.edu. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Gateways to Glendale College. I'm Deb Kinley, and I'm so honored, excited, and happy to have with us today our guest, Mamak Khadem. And she's a Persian singer, and we're going to talk about a little bit of her background today and why she's here at the college and in Glendale in general. Welcome, Mamak.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your background and what brings you here to Glendale area.
Well, my background, I was born in Tehran, Iran, moved to United States as a teenager, finished my high school, college, University and was able to get my master's degree in mathematics. I left Iran before the revolution of 1979 with the hope of getting a degree and going back to my country and have a good job and good life. And well, things changed politically, and so I just kept living here, and then it turned out to be home. Los Angeles has been home for a while, and I started working as a teacher in mathematics in schools, high schools, and colleges for many years. All along, though, music was always my companion. Especially when I left Iran, I didn't know the language, the English language, very well. So when I came here as a teenager, going to school, not really having friends, the two languages that I could connect the most with were mathematics and music. So music was always a big part of my life. When after the revolution of 1979, because I really wanted to keep my identity as an Iranian woman, I decided to learn the Persian traditional music. And because of that, I used to travel to Iran every summer during my teaching break, summer break. I used to travel back to Iran and study with masters in Iran, and come back here and then do another year, and then back and forth. And then after a while, I decided that instead of wanting to become a pure traditional musician, because of the opportunity that I had to live in a different country, and I was exposed to different cultures and different people and different music, I felt that I wanted to, with keeping the identity of the music, which is traditional Persian music, but I brought in my own ideas as more of a fusion, trying to make it more accessible to the non-Iranian ear. I right from the beginning, I knew that I wanted my audience not only to be Iranians, but I also wanted to reach out to the Americans and hopefully, have them as my audience.
So you have a classical background, but you're mixing it up a little bit to appeal to a few more audience.
Yes, cross-cultural, and there's sometimes, I just let it go beyond the tradition. I don't try to fix it in a way that it has to sound certain ways. I do have, I'm blessed actually to have musicians from different cultures in my ensemble. I have an Armenian gentleman, Mr. Ruby Karatunyan, who is he's a master and a wonderful person. He plays the duduk and clarinet in the ensemble, so we have a very close connection. He's from Armenia. Armenians, to me, are people who we're the same people, basically. I know that my mom grew up with a lot of Armenians in the neighborhood as when she was a kid, and she speaks the Armenian language a little bit, and she knows how to do the fortune telling and what we call the Armenian coffee, and so there was always this connection and good memory of the Armenians as when I was growing up. And so Mr. Ruby Karatunyan is an Armenian musician. And then we have other musicians from, Iran and from Norway. So that by itself, each musician brings in their flavor and a taste of their music into the ensemble. So even though I'm singing in the Persian poetry and speaking my language, and I go with the, more melodies that are Persian, but because musicians with the different background are a part of this ensemble, they also bring their own unique taste to the music, and so it makes it. There's a little twist, and so it leaves. It's beyond the very traditional music. So I feel very blessed, and I feel that that's something that I created that I enjoy being a part of. I've always felt like I've being an Iranian and living outside of Iran, living in the United States. I always thought that I had to choose one of the two, and it was such a hard decision, to the point that as I got older, I felt that nowadays it's possible to be both, and it's possible to be beyond the two. You can be a citizen of the world, honestly. And I think that music does give you does have the potential and does give you the opportunity to reach out to other cultures and learn about their music and, go on stage with musicians from different various parts of the world and have a performance. So.
Well, that sounds like a good segue into why you're here in the Glendale area anyway. So why don't you tell us about the World Festival of Sacred Music? I believe that's what you're here to perform with?
Yes. We are going to have a performance on October 9th at First Baptist Church of Glendale, 209 North Louise Street. And Pastor Charles Updike, who has been generously offering the church for this performance. And I'm really excited about this upcoming concert because it's very unique. I mean, I've had performances in concert halls, and this one is going to be in a church. There's going to be music, and then there's going to be some of my students are going to perform. They're going to each perform in their own language. I do teach music, and I have students from non-Iranian students, and each are going to start chanting in their own language a message of peace. As that's how the program is going to start. So being in the church is just going to make it even more intimate.
Mama, when did the World Festival of Sacred Music begin?
World Sacred Music Festival began 14 years ago when His Holiness Dalai Lama had a vision of people from different cultures get together with festivals, musical festivals. And so the Los Angeles Miss Judy Matoma, who's the director of this festival, she's a really nice person, fantastic soul. She actually initiated this festival, and so far this is the 5th time that it's happening. The length of a festival is usually about 2 weeks, and there are, as you mentioned earlier, 800 some performers in 30 some events throughout the 2 weeks.
The 2-week period, okay. And is this your first time appearing in the World Festival of Music?
This is the first time I am appearing in this the way that I'm programming it. I've performed once before in the Sacred Music Festival many years ago, but it was just pretty much like a same performance that I would do as a concert. And then this time I just felt like, there's got to be something beyond a performance. For me, the community became very important. As I get older, I'm beginning to understand, the importance of what the community is. Service, for many years I was a teacher, so I felt that that's where the space that I had in order to give my service to the community. And now I feel like, well, this is another opportunity. Peace, there's definitely the idea of peace behind it, makes it a very strong festival. So this is my second time actually participating, but it's first time that I'm going to bring the ideas of my students coming, sharing their culture, and doing things that are hopefully the community will enjoy.
When you mention your students, what sort of classes are you teaching that you have students?
In year 2002, I quit my job as a math instructor because I felt like I needed to make some changes in my life. So since then, I have focused on the music, and that's where has been my profession. I do have concerts and performances, and I also teach classes. I do have students that are Iranian, and then I have non-Iranian students. I have classes where very much involved with technique of singing and Persian style singing, and then I have classes that are very non-technical, more like meditative and chanting and so it's very, we have all sorts of stuff, and that is perfect for me because I feel like that I get a chance to also bring the different, aspects of my life into sharing with my students.
So you mentioned that some of your students will be performing with you on October the 9th?
They're going to have a performance. They're going to have a very short segment because especially the ones who come from a different culture, I felt that it was the perfect place for them to bring the chants and the singing to be more towards the festival. It was like really just went very well with the message of the festival, them being from different. I have a student from Portugal who's going to do a chant in Portuguese. I have a couple of Jewish students who are going to do their performance in their language. I have a student from African background. I have, and on and on. So students from Iranian background. So hopefully it will be something interesting.
Are you taking new students?
Yes, I am.
And how would someone who might be interested in becoming one of your students get in touch with you?
Well, people can go on my website, www.mamak-khadim.com. And there's like space where you can contact me. And I live in Santa Monica, and I'm pretty excited about meeting people, who are interested in singing. The performance, you asked something about a question, and I wanted to just share that with you, that Glendale was one of the suggestions. I had, the festival usually gives us a few different venues. And I, had talked to Dr. Paris Nouri, who's generously and graciously, she's helping me with the student Persian Club. Mm-hmm. But I felt that Glendale would be the right place for me to perform. I've never had a performance in Glendale before. And I know that there's a huge community of Iranians here, and probably they don't know about me or my music. And there's a big community of the Armenians, Persian Armenians and Armenians, and I really want to be able to reach out to them, and I invite them to come.
Well, in case you've just tuned in, we're talking with Mamak Khadim today, who's a Persian singer, and she's telling us about the World Festival of Sacred Music, where she will be appearing soon in Glendale at the First Baptist Church. And for those of you who are students of Glendale College, and if you're taking some music classes, some of you will be able to attend her performance and get credit. But otherwise, you may just want to attend the performance because of the beautiful music that we've been talking about. So, Mamak, what were those dates again?
The performance is on October 9th. It's a Sunday, and we wanted to do the concert a little bit earlier. So the concert will be from 6 to 8 at the First Baptist Church of Glendale, 209 North Louise Street in Glendale. There's tickets available at Ani's Grocery in Glendale. But I think for people who are more comfortable buying tickets online, they can go on www.club670.com, and they can purchase tickets there.
The price is pretty reasonable, $25, I think I understand.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess part of it is because I've been an educator, that I always love to have students coming to my, younger people. Even in my last performance, we had the tickets go up to like $95, but I made sure there was a section for $20 student tickets, Mm-hmm. So I would love to see students there, discounted tickets. And I felt that, we're in a church, we want to bring the community, so it has to be very reasonable so people will come. This is a very community-oriented type of performance.
Not your concert level performance.
Yes. The musicians are great, so the level of music is fantastic, but we just wanted to make it down to earth, something that people, when they come, hopefully they will feel like they're part of this. There are going to be times that maybe people can, respond back to me as we were chanting, hopefully they get involved in the concert. I feel that as a 21st century audience, me, personally, sometimes when I go to the concerts, I'm like, I get impatient after a while. You want to start playing with your cell phone, checking messages. There's always we can't really sit still for a couple hours anymore.
It's amazing.
So things have to keep changing, and I'm definitely thinking about that for this performance, that there's going to be a few different things for different tastes, and hopefully people will choose the one that they like better and do some kind of participation in it.
Well, part of the title, World Festival of Sacred Music, sounds that it will be just a wonderful affair. It sounds sacred. It sounds benevolent. It sounds just charming from what I've heard from you and from Dr. Paris Nouri
Yes.
in the description. One thing you said earlier that I just really caught my ear was that the languages that you knew were math and music. And I thought that was pretty interesting because you're in another country, another culture yourself, and the things that helped you feel good, of course, your math, you know that, but then the music, and I love music myself, and
Good.
so I just think world music, it sounds wonderful. We should all be exposed to lots of different kinds of music, and I think the Glendale population will really enjoy.
I hope so. I really hope that this will be a event where, we make a connection with the community of Glendale. I am very, very excited that the Persian Club and Dr. Paris Nouri are behind this, and I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to interview me, and of course Scott for doing this interview. I think the message we're sending is it's beautiful, and I'm really honored to be a part of the festival myself. There are many good souls that are working voluntarily in this festival, and I just want to thank those guys as well. And I think that you mentioned music, that you love music. I think everybody loves music. I think music is something that I can't even imagine living without it. I do have a very strong social, political background as well, but I always feel that any kind of a change that has happened, it hasn't happened because of the pushes of the governments or what the governments wanted to do. It has always come through arts and education. So I feel that music is ultimately the tool that will makes the people of the world united, and hopefully a better world.
It's a universal language. You don't
Absolutely.
have to know one language or the other. If you just enjoy
Yes,
the music,
absolutely.
everyone can get along.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Gateways to Glendale College. I'm Deb Kinley, and I'd like to remind you to catch the performance by Mamak Kadem, October the 9th on Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. at the First Baptist Church, 209 Louise Street. And you can catch Gateways to Glendale College on Thursdays at 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday at noon on Channel 15. Thank you for tuning in. You can talk to someone about Glendale College at this number, 818-240-1000. And also, we're always online at www.glendale.edu. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
باغ تو دار